Meanwhile, experts say propping up business sentiment will likely be among the top priority in the upcoming budget. They also say the spending plan this year will likely continue on the theme of transforming the economy. And more details can be expected to be unveiled for some key initiatives announced last year. Now, observers also say there should be incentives to help build up technological capabilities. Now, here's a look with Patrick John Lim at some trends expected to shape this year's budget.
Developing and enhancing growth for Singapore's small and medium-sized enterprises is expected to be a focal point for the upcoming budget later this month. Slow growth and political uncertainty have dominated recent headlines and may be affecting the confidence in the local business community. In official surveys, businesses in the services sector, which account for about 2/3 of employment, have said they expect less favourable business conditions in the next 6 months. Reasons cited include rising costs and uncertain levels of demand.
The Trump administration coming on has introduced quite a bit of uncertainty, though we cannot jump into a conclusion. So immediately, as far as businesses are concerned, they are impacted by high costs, they're impacted by dropping demand, so they want to raise revenue. So they hope that the government can come in to help in terms of alleviating some of these cost pressures.
Even though global demand seems to be picking up a bit better than over the past 2 years, but usually the MNCs will be the first to enjoy the increase in the global demand because they have the resources to react to the increase in the business volume. But for small medium enterprises, I think it's a lot harder for them.
Last year's budget saw the government introducing short-term measures, such as the working capital loan, to help SMEs stay afloat amid a weakening economy. Experts say the government will largely continue in the same vein as 2016, with the focus towards building mid to long-term business resilience.
On balance, I think short-term measure is necessary to cater for companies that really need help. But of course, resources are scarce. You can always, you have to really channel your resources properly. So the mid-term to long-term is also very, very important because companies need to think how they can grow in the mid-term to long-term time horizon.
One DBS economist says despite the downbeat sentiments, economic fundamentals actually suggest a gradual recovery in the global economy. This gives the government some leeway in continuing its focus to transform the economy for the long term. Despite the looming prospect of a trade war between the world's two largest economies, he explains these events are out of Singapore's control, and the budget has to focus on building up Singapore's own capabilities.
This budget will not be about short-term pump priming. It is not going to be a counter-cyclical fiscal budget. It will focus more on medium-term restructuring issue. This upcoming budget is really about helping the companies leverage on technologies that will help companies build up and deepen their capabilities so they can compete more effectively.
The budget will not be without social programs and assistance, although experts say the government is likely making it a priority to ensure all Singaporeans have access to good jobs or at least the opportunities. This would fit into the long-term strategy of building up SMEs, as they are then expected to contribute in providing job opportunities and help address the challenges of an aging population.
Well, the enterprise here in Singapore are really a backbone of our economy, forming maybe 80 to 90% of the jobs here. So it's not surprised that if this group of companies don't do well, probably our economy will not do well. If this group of people do well, then jobs will be created. So a lot of emphasis is on whether Singaporeans can have a job. So if Singapore have a job, then the social issue more or less can be catered for or solved by itself.
By 2025, the population will start to shrink. Alright, and then as the population continues to age, Singapore will become less and less attractive to global MNCs. So the only sustainable way is to grow our local enterprise, to help them do well in the global international market, such that they will be able to repatriate their earnings back to the country as tax collections, returns to the fiscal and contribute to the fiscal position.
With the spotlight trained on SMEs, it's especially important to ensure the message gets passed down to the ground. Wheels were set in motion in last year's budget when Finance Minister Heng Swee Keat said it's paramount the government work with the various chambers and associations to engage local firms. Progress seems slow on this front, with not all industries responding to the call for transformation. The Singapore Business Federation hopes the government will provide further details on some key initiatives, such as the industry transformation maps.
My sense is that the message of transformation is not getting down to the SMEs. It's not getting down to the SMEs, but they are the ones who need to change most, and they are the ones who would benefit most from the ITMs. We are not quite yet organized around the ITMs, but it's a long-term effort, and we hope that SPF as well as the other TACs will begin to organize ourselves better around that 23 ATMs.
Another likely area of focus in this year's budget could be providing support for displaced workers. Unemployment hit a 6-year high in the fourth quarter of 2016, and among those affected are the professionals, managers, engineers and technicians, or PMETs. While not quite resorting to handouts, market watchers say the government could extend further support to jobs training and jobs matching for Singaporeans.